Today we are honored to have with us one of the co-founders of the Hero Caribbean Premier League, who is presently the CEO, Pete Russell. He can tell us about the evolution of the game and explain 60 to us. Welcome, Pete. Welcome. It's great to have you.
Oh, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. So thank you for preparing to shed some light on this interesting game to us. Of course, you know, it's steeped in our history, and it means a lot to us. So Skyexch 60 started yesterday. What was the turnout like, and how did the game start?
It was great, because it was the first time we had the women franchises playing. So we had Guyana, Barbados, and Trinidad women. So that was unique and special, and it went really well. So we had a bit of a buzz in the park, which was always nice. And we know when there's a buzz in the park, it's exciting. So yeah, we were really pleased with how it worked. So as you say, it's funny how the game's evolved. I mean, no doubt we'll get down to one ball at some point. But for us, it was natural to look at. It's like a T10 really. So it's 60 balls, and it's just a very fast and furious match. And for the next 4 days, we'll have 4 games a day. So it will come thick and fast. Great players, obviously, from around the Caribbean and the world playing. So it's going to be exciting.
Indeed. All right, so why name the trophy after the Universe Boss?
Well, it was one of the things we talked to Chris about, because when you launch something like this, you want to make sure that you launch it with a bang, so you get people's attention. So there's no better way to do that than, obviously, Christopher Henry Gayle. So when we decided, well, you know, what's the trophy going to be? Is it just going to be the 60 trophy? And he said, what about the Universe Boss? And we went, 100%. We have to have that. So very much collaboration with him. And he's been fantastic in promoting it. And of course, it's perfect for him and his skill set. So it's great that he's going to be playing in it and honouring us this year again. So I think for fans, you know, there's not too many days left to watch him. So I would urge people to go and catch the great man in action.
You say not too many days. Does he plan to leave the sport soon?
If Chris could play till he's 80, I think he would play till he's 80. But you know, he's fit, he's healthy, obviously, and you know, he's just iconic. And you know, I don't think any bowler in the world still wants to bowl at the Universe Boss, because he's so destructive. But yeah, this is perfect for him, because he doesn't have to stay on the field for too long either.
All right, so in addition to the Universe Boss trophy, are there any other prizes?
Look, I think for us it was all about trying to create that buzz around the park again. I mean, we've had 2 years where we haven't really had fans back, and that's been good in as much as we've been able to play the cricket. People have been able to enjoy it through tough times. But you know, we know when Warner Park is full that there's no better place to watch cricket. So we're going to be giving $500 away per match. So fans can come, and you know, the cameraman will be panning around, and if he thinks he's got a fan with a particular interest, he will select them, and so people can come and watch cricket and walk away with $500 US. So it's not a bad way to spend the day. Exactly. We'll be doing that for every game. So by the end of the tournament, we would have given away 10,000 US. And of course, we have Carib, who are the partners. So they do their usual promotions in the party stand, which this year has a pool. We have a pool in the party stand. So, yeah, a pool there. So come along and enjoy that. Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Chris Gayle mentioned something about time and the mystery ball. Those are two things that baffle me. Can you explain those for me?
So I'll start with the mystery ball, which is interesting. So there's an app. It's the 60 chat app that fans can go on, and we randomly choose 4 balls through an innings, and fans can vote on which ball they want to be the free hit. So so batsman can't be out. It's purely about him scoring team runs. But the whole idea was to try and get fans closer to the action, so they're sort of involved in the game. So at least they can say, well, I voted for that ball, and that worked well yesterday. And then the time is, again, we just want to make sure that it's speeded up. You know, again, it's like make sure that actually fans continually being entertained, if you like. So if you don't bowl your 9th over by a certain time, you get a red card. A player is sent off, and it will be the first time in the history of cricket that anyone's been sent off. So I'm quite looking forward to it.
Did I just hear you correctly? If you don't
bowl, you get
Yeah,
Wow.
it's going to be quite controversial because you can do all sorts of things. You can find players, you can dock them runs, but it's one of I think the great shames about cricket at the minute. So it can get very slow.
Okay.
So this is just a way to say, well, okay, you'll lose your player if you don't bowl quickly enough. So, and you could see them rushing a bit yesterday. No one wants to be the first player to be sent off.
Got it.
All right, so what happens if teams don't bowl their overs? Well, that's the same thing. Bowl their overs within the allotted times. That's a question that I had for you. That's really interesting. So I imagine that was done because you wanted the game to be more fast-paced and more engaging for the viewers.
Yeah, and we'll bowl, I think as you mentioned in the intro, you bowl 30 balls from each end, what Chris mentioned. So that just speeds it up again. So rather than every over changing, literally it's back to back to back. So, it's just about keeping it fast-paced. And as I said, we have 4 games a day, so there's plenty for fans to be entertained between 10 and 7.
That would engage me because honestly, one of the criticisms that I had, not criticisms, but one of the reasons I didn't really enjoy cricket when I was younger is because it was just such a slow-moving game. So this definitely would get people like me in on the action.
Well, it just is. It's something's happening every ball, really. So, test matches, as you say, 5 days you're sitting there, and not a lot happens sometimes. So, yeah, we're excited by the format. We think these new innovations, hopefully some will work. Not all of them will work, but we thought we'd give it a go.
So, Pete, my question for you, as I asked you during the break, who came up with the concept for the 60?
So, my team, effectively. So we were sort of mulling, what's the next thing for CPR? Because you can evolve, put more teams in, but we sort of felt actually a new format would probably suit us better. So, as I said, it's only over 4 days, and most tournaments in cricket are over sort of a 5-week period.
Okay.
So we're trying to create this 4-day, almost carnival festival, if you like, so people can come. And yes, you'll have cricket, but you'll have all these other things that we'll put on for you to be entertained. So that was the idea. And obviously we've done it in conjunction with Cricket West Indies. So Ricky Skerritt and Johnny Grave, who have been very supportive. So collaborative effort.
So next year it will move to another island, or it's going to always be in St. Kitts?
Hopefully it will always be here, but we'll have different iterations. So I would say, we'll play here, hopefully Barbados, Antigua, and who knows, maybe internationally as well. So
okay, nice.
We have high hopes.
Good stuff.
All right, when it comes to the intro that I read, we spoke to cricket being a gentleman's sport. Now we're seeing the introduction of women's teams. How important was it to involve women?
I just think it was critical. If you look at women's sport across the world, I think it's obviously so much more impactful now than it's ever been. And it's just the empowerment that I really enjoy. It's like, because we had an interesting debate yesterday about should you bring the boundaries in for the women? And I said, no, keep them out. Make sure that, why? Why would you make it any different? And they proved us yesterday.
Exactly.
One of the girls hit a 87 meters. It really, out of the ground. So, I shouldn't be surprised by that because they're professional athletes. But that's my point, is they're all professional athletes. They all take a huge amount of pride in their game. And we're thrilled that we're able to bring it for the first time, to bring franchise cricket to women, because it gives them, again, if you like, a pathway. So they can see, okay, well, if I do this well, I will get the same rewards as the men. And that's definitely going to happen.
Indeed. So do you still believe or think that there is a larger following towards men cricket than female cricket?
Yes, but if I look at the profile of CPL, probably 40% are women now. Come and watch the games. Now, I'm not saying that they all come to watch the cricket, but it's
what do you say?
But they come for the lime. So we know that that's an important part of our audience. So and so it's natural that they will therefore take an interest in women's cricket.
Nice.
It definitely is. All right, so tickets were given away, some free tickets. How many tickets were given to local students and why?
So we're giving away 200 per day to kids and also kids from college. Well, the idea again is because we think this is a format for them, so we want to introduce it to them. But even outside of that, the tickets are only $5 for the day, so you can go and enjoy them, whether you're a kid or an adult. But we've got face painters there, we've got little food packs for the kids. So there's a lot going on for them. And, again, we've created the party stand, so you've got the DJ there all day. And it's a fun vibe, actually. So I think as we get to the weekend and people see more of the games and the excitement, I think we'll get a good turnout.
I can tell you, my cousin is about 14 years old, and he's an avid cricket fan. He plays it, and he told me emphatically he wants to play for the West Indies. So he's going to be there.
And again, that's the other thing. Get all these. We're going to have a lot of young kids playing, because the pinnacle is playing for the West Indies. Playing for the franchise is important, but the pinnacle is always playing for the West Indies.
So last year we know St. Kitts won the CPL. So we won't tell anyone, we promise. Who's your favorite team for this year?
Well, I'm not allowed to say, am I? Because I like all six. They all have a special place in my heart. But it was great seeing St. Kitts win it last year, because obviously, the governments have always supported so well down here, and so have the fans. And for what I love, it's that sort of David and Goliath. St. Kitts beating the bigger countries is always a good thing, because there's so much pride here. So to be able to get one over on Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados is always a good thing.
I think I found out who his favorite team is.
No, you did not. I'm not going to. No, you did not. Good try. All right. So will Skyexch 60 conclude in St. Kitts and Nevis, and where does CPL continue once it leaves the federation?
So we get so we've got 7 games here for CPL. They start a week on Wednesday, and then we go to St. Lucia, and then we go down to Trinidad, and then we go to Guyana for the finals, which will be the first time we've been in Guyana for the finals. And we've sold every single ticket in Guyana.
Of course.
I mean, it is extraordinary. So I just think that will be a fantastic experience for not just us, but fans and the cricketers, actually. I think they'll really enjoy it.
Indeed. Well, I'm from Guyana, so I know Guyanese love cricket. Is it at the Providence Stadium as well?
It is, yeah.
I need to go home.
So it will be, and Providence, when that place is full, it rocks. So.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, that will be exciting.
Oh, man. I want to go home.
You can go, you can join the entourage. So, Pete, you were there at the beginning of Heroes CPL, and in your opinion, has it advanced, and where do you see it going in the future?
Well, this is our 10th anniversary, so for it to be going for 10 years is pretty remarkable, actually, because it's, it had a, it's always difficult to bring something new to a sport and to a region in the way that we did, because you just don't know. Because obviously, the cost of putting something like this tournament on is significant. So you need commercial partners to buy in, which we're very thankful for them. I mean, you mentioned Hero; they've been with us for 8 years. So we're very fortunate in that respect. But you have to keep evolving, and for us, it's about making sure we're relevant. We're relevant to cricket in the region, fans, and as we mentioned before, that governments want to support us because we're giving something back. And that's a big part of what we try to do in terms of economic impact. So, but yeah, we're very proud that we're here on our 10th birthday.